90-Day Fiancé. The Other Way star Brandan DeNuccio's controversial nature has been exposed one too many times on the show through the way he behaved with Mary Demasu-ay. Brandan and Mary were both 23-year-olds in Season 5 of the 90-Day Fiancé spin-off. Brandan from Oregon and Mary from Candoni, Philippines, met on a dating app. They saw each other in person after 2 years when he moved to the Philippines. Brandan is still living with Mary. His life back home was not something he wanted to go back to. Brandan had a rough childhood and had no money. Brandan said he had been rejected all his life thanks to his mother with drug issues and his dad who didn't wish to raise him. Brandan and Mary's relationship too had its share of red flags. They were so irresponsible when they got pregnant within 3 months of Brandan moving to Candoni. In real time, the couple has earned a horrible reputation for manipulating fans into giving them money. Brandan and Mary have lied to and looted gullible fans by claiming something as serious as Mary having cancer. However, the signs that Brandan was problematic were always there. Brandan was spending every single hour, minute, and every second on a video call with Mary every single day. Since he had met Mary virtually, they had started to be on the phone more and more, until it became a mutual agreement that they would just be on the call 24/7. Brandan admitted that whatever he could do, he also could do it while he was on call with Mary. He told the cameras that as long as he had an internet connection or had data on his phone, he would do everything together with her. Brandan also watched Mary sleeping due to the time differences between his city and Mary's. Interestingly, Mary didn't. Although it was her idea to be with Brandan 24/7 because she didn't want to lose him, Mary sometimes unplugged the router when she went out. She'd tell Brandan that she had a power outage there. It was because Mary used to go meet her friends when Brandan was asleep. Brandan got jealous of her friends since they were all boys. Brandan was not okay with Mary having male friends, says Garcia. Brandan said he was helping build a house for Mary in the Philippines because he was also going to live there with her after he relocated. A typhoon had destroyed her place, so all of Brandan's paychecks that were coming in went towards building Mary's house. It was close to $50,000 and minus $60,000, and meanwhile Brandan was barely scratching by. He only had $260 and in his own bank account. Brandan had done many odd jobs, like bagging groceries and washing windows, but he lost 3-4 of them because of his video calls with Mary. He had to be on phone with her all the time. Mary was a virgin. She had never been touched or kissed by Brandan. Mary told her friends that Brandan was jealous, but things would get better once Brandan got there. They too admitted that Mary became a different person after Brandan came along. She used to spend time with them and have fun, but Brandan didn't allow them to do the things they used to do. He told her he trusted her, but not the other people around her. Brandan was jealous of a friend that Mary had in her dance troupe. Brandan asked Mary to stop dancing, which she did. However, it meant that Mary lost her scholarship. She had to leave college. Mary felt sad because she lost her school and dance class. Mary also had to stop modeling because Brandan didn't approve of her racy pictures. Mary didn't like staying at home, doing nothing. However, she felt like she needed to give everything up because she would then lose Brandan, who could never stop overthinking 90-Day Fiancés. Mary borrowed money from her friends so she could open her shop and buy the products. It was a lot of pressure for Mary and Brandan to make the business profitable. They were in massive debt, but were unable to earn the money from the shop alone. Mary got no help from Brandan. She began reselling cell phones on the side to make an income. They had to depend on Mary's grandparents. He had no solid plan to make money when he moved to the Philippines. They were completely unprepared for the bills. Brandan even asked Mary's grandfather for a loan because Brandan had helped them with the house and wondered where the elderly farmer was spending his money. Brandan's grandfather had already lost his house, and the typhoon had also affected his crops. He did not understand that culturally, it was embarrassing for Mary to ask her grandparents for money given her culture. Mary's college degree would have been useful then. Had Brandan not made her lose her scholarship, Brandan was in for a shock when he learned that Mary's grandparents had set a house rule that she couldn't do it with Brandan when he moved in. If the 23-year-olds wanted to hold hands or hug, they'd have to get permission from Mary's grandparents. Mary agreed to their rules since they fit with her Filipino culture. However, Mary became pregnant despite Mary's grandparents, who raised her, insisting on her and Brandan not having premarital sex. Brandan blamed it on Mary, saying she wanted a baby because she had baby fever. While Brandan was excited about this new chapter in his life, things changed once he became comfortable living in the Philippines. Mary complained that Brandan was raising her voice at her, always shouting. He watched TV with the volume up to 100. He didn't listen when Mary told him to lower it. He said bad words in front of her family. Brandan was playing video games when Mary asked him to help her with their budget. Brandan kept playing his games so much that he couldn't focus on real life. It had been a thing since Brandan was a child. Brandan was never as innocent as he seemed. During the 90-day fiancé, the other way tell-all, Mary revealed that while Brandan had started spending less time playing video games, he was still having anger issues. He intentionally said things that would hurt Mary during arguments. Brandan admitted, "I do sometimes call her a scammer, because, as per Brandan, Mary was only happy when she had money. When he got really upset with Mary, he called her bi." He claimed he did it so Mary would give him a response and stand up for herself.